Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets at Money Control. It's a Friday morning and we'll be discussing the overnight developments and the key trends to watch out for today. I'm Rakshita Madan. I'll look at the headlines first. Finance Minister hints at bank recapitalization soon to boost economy in an interview to CNBC TV18. Tata Sons gets an approval to become a private company, and in global news, US increases sanctions on North Korea while China gets downgraded by S&P. Time now for the markets chat. Joining me is Uttaresh from the markets team. Good morning, Uttaresh.
Good morning, Rakshita.
So markets this whole week have been a little mixed. Volatile yesterday, good week, a good start to the week. Could we expect some kind of stability today, or it's going to be volatile today also?
I think there could be some amount of volatility that we see today. What is happening is the global cues don't look very promising right now as we speak. Domestically also we are seeing some amount of negativity that is leading to the weakness that we are seeing in the markets. So all in all, what is happening is for the past few days there has been a consolidation, and now we've seen some distribution at the top levels. So now there has to be a confirmation whether there could be further movement from this point or whether there's going to be a fall from that particular point. So I think market is currently in a wait and watch mode as well.
Right. And looking at the global cues, there are certain developments on the geopolitical fronts, but it doesn't look like markets are paying heed to that. In fact, markets are looking at economic news more.
Which is a good case. That should be impacting you more than what is happening. But you cannot take away North Korean tensions from current set of headlines. What is happening is in the US yesterday we saw the first correction in about 9 sessions. Both S&P 500 and the Dow Jones have ended on the lower note. Largely maybe because there is some profit booking seen there after this particular run that we have seen. Additionally, the Federal Reserve, the kind of commentary that it gave, now I think investors seem to be digesting that kind of cues there. So the US markets actually ending on a lower note there. This handover from the Wall Street has come to Asia, and there is some weakness in Asian markets as well because of that. And plus, of course, not to forget the dollar movement. There's a strength seen in the dollar, which is leading to the Asian markets reacting on a lower note. So these two sets, if you see, that could probably see some amount of spillover to Indian markets as well. Additionally, what is also not going in favor of Indian markets is the SGX Nifty futures. That is indicating about a gap down opening of about 50 points, 0.5% lower. So all in all, the cues don't look very good today. And as far as the commodities are concerned, the gold prices, what has happened is, like we mentioned, like Rakshita mentioned about North Korea and the sanctions by the US. The foreign minister of North Korea has reportedly also said that it could detonate a nuclear bomb in the Pacific Ocean. So probably that has led to some spooking by the investors, and now they are rushing to safe haven assets such as gold. So the gold prices, as we speak, they have risen. Oil prices, there is an OPEC meet scheduled that could discuss, the supply cut extension, the deadline extension for that. So oil prices right now are trading on the higher note. Rupee, yesterday after the Federal Reserve's decision, that took a hit yesterday. It was trading at 2 months low intraday and has ended actually near almost about 3-month low mark, And as far as flows are concerned, FIs yesterday, they were about net sellers for about 1,200 crores worth of shares, Rakshita, and 1,400 crores worth of buying by DIs,
Right. Looking at the technical charts, Nifty formed a hammer. So what should investors do now?
So additionally, what has happened is this is after, the spinning top, and then we saw the bearish candle and the hammer. So there could be some amount of topping, rather the peak that we could see. An intelligent investor, this is what traders are saying, an intelligent or a smart buyer would have obviously booked profits by now and kind of waited. But there has to be some amount of confirmation for the moves that this particular market is seeing, and that is exactly why it is currently in a wait and watch mode there. Now, if you see the levels, 10,130 odd levels, if we go beyond this, the Nifty could move towards 10,200 levels. But a fall below that, we could see the Nifty being pulled back to 10,080, 10,050 levels, which we saw yesterday. 10,100 was breached, and thankfully it managed to regain that particular benchmark 10,100 there.
Let's talk about the stock-specific action then.
Just a few of them to be in focus. To begin with, what you mentioned in the headlines, Tata Group stocks. After the Tata Sons, it received an investors nod to go private. So after that, now we could see some amount of reactions in the Tata Group stocks there. Tata Motors, another Tata Group stock, that has hinted at some important announcement on the electric vehicles front, and probably investors could be excited on that particular front. We've got Unitech. The promoters actually have not received a bail by the Supreme Court, and there are certain other orders with respect to the home buyers and the project that's been stalled in Delhi Noida region. And lastly, we've got Airtel. It has received a shareholders nod, for its amalgamation with Telenor there.
Right. So we don't know what kind of day markets are going to have, but you are clearly in a Friday attire today.
You're always in a thank God it's Friday mode. It's Friday after all, So.
Right. Thanks a lot for joining me, Suresh. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Markets at Money Control. For more news, views and updates, stay logged on to moneycontrol.com.
Bye.